oh, I went here, like it was a great experience. You know what I mean?
This is a place that you can feel at home. Yeah. Case in point, somebody feels really comfortable and comes in and, ooh, there's a double entendre there.
I just like how I can talk to you and then you just put things into, words. I think it's been really interesting. I've enjoyed it.
Welcome, everybody. Today we have a fun interview between myself and Shaina of Farmhouse Flooring. As with most people that I work with, her service and product goes far beyond the physical thing that you'll see when you enter her shop, but it's a real experience that she is cultivating for her clientele. Now, before we get into the interview, I would like to turn your attention to her current website. Like many other services that are similar to hers, she has a very product-forward appearance, which is perfectly fine because really what people are looking at on the internet for flooring are going to be searching for, they're going to be searching for the flooring. But her brand goes beyond the product itself and into an experience, and that should be coming through front and center on this homepage. Later on in the interview, we will be talking about the phraseology she uses on the top of the page that will be the first words people see when they land on the page. Currently, what we have here, bring new life to your home, which is close, but we can improve this. Another criticism I'll offer is the header here is using a lot of space, and if we can shrink that padding, it'll do us a lot of favors. So with that, we are able to win back a lot of real estate that we can now use for a powerful hook and tagline in the hero space here. So to demonstrate what I mean, I've modified the site here just briefly. We have bring new life to your home. We do make an update to that later on. And then we specify flooring, countertops, and showers because flooring isn't the only thing she does. And it needs to be obvious when you land on her site. It also is an important thing for SEO to specify all the services and goods you offer. And then something important goes here. And again, that's later on in the interview. If you really can't wait for the reveal, go ahead and skip forward. Now, from a look and feel standpoint, Shaina's site here is actually quite pleasant. It doesn't need that much work, really. We have plenty of creds. Might want to get your client's headshot here to emphasize this is a real person who is endorsing you. The other thing that I was advised about in reference to this site in particular is that it would be great to make multiple pages for each of the product types that are carried. And that will kind of indicate to Google and Facebook and all the other search engines what it is that can be found at your location, and that will boost your ranking in that particular keyword.
All right. So tell me about yourself and tell me about Farmhouse Flooring.
My family started out in flooring. My dad was an installer and my grandpa, and I started into flooring in 2014, and then I opened my own store last year in 23. So Farmhouse Flooring is just a local little flooring store. We offer all flooring covering, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and we also do sand and finish hardwood and onyx showers and countertops.
Wonderful. What's something that you would say is your favorite aspect of working in Farmhouse Flooring?
Just working with the customers and kind of creating, their vision and their design of what they want to create of their home.
Yeah. What can you say about the client's vision and your process to kind of help them distill it or to figure out what it is?
If they come in and they don't have a vision, like a lot of women will come in, and majority it's women that I work with. They'll come in and with the Pinterest, like, oh, I want my house to look like this. I'm like, okay, perfect. So then we'll go from there. But then we also have to incorporate like, okay, how busy is your household? Is water an issue? Do you want something durable, or do you want something that's going to add value to your home and super, it's really beautiful? And then people who don't really know what they want, I just kind of start there and see the lifestyle that they have at home, and the flooring that will suit their house best, and then we go find a color in that product that works for that.
It's largely an aesthetic thing, but then as well, all the other needs that you help them think through. So like, people could have fun just looking at stuff and kind of dreaming.
Oh yeah,
even if they're not ready.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you get going, like, oh, I love this, and then it'll be like, oh, well, that then it doesn't go with what you're doing. Like I know we love it, but it doesn't go with your house. So unless we're changing this, and this, then maybe we should look at something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something that you brought up when we were talking just last week, it was brought up in somehow that there's a local focus to your service, and there's a sense of you don't want to be selling necessarily to people who are like out of state or whatever. You really are caring about your neighbors when you are engaging with customers. Your customers are your neighbors.
Yeah. I don't sell anything. I don't sell online. I'm literally, a brick and mortar store. You can't go online and go shopping. You have to come in and have the experience, I say.
Yeah. That truly is the better way of describing it. It's an experience, and that's a major piece of what you offer. You offer somebody who actually cares somewhat for you, as opposed to the big box stores. It's like, oh, here are your options.
And I want to make it fun. You know what I mean? I want to make it fun. I want to. Yeah. I want them to remember me and refer me and be their friend. I want to be their flooring friend.
Yes. And that's a perfect way of saying it. You want to be their flooring friend.
Yeah.
Somebody who, cares about you, cares about your home.
And I've kind of thought of that as my slogan, like your friend in flooring, but I haven't really got one, but I have had that thought.
Yeah. You're a friendly neighborhood flooring something.
Yeah.
Some other alliteration.
Your flooring girl.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing too, that a benefit is, a lot of the other flooring stores are men, and and the people that are shopping are women. So I think women are more comfortable shopping with another woman than a man, really.
I'm sure it's pretty often. Because like nowadays when you have I'm sure this is probably perennial. It has to do with human nature. The man doesn't care as much.
Yeah. So all the wives bring their husbands in, and he says, "I don't care, honey, whatever you want."
I'll run the numbers and make sure we can get it. But other than that, we can get what you want. It's
so funny because she just wants his approval, and he's like, "I don't care, whatever you want." So she'll just keep looking and trying to get, an approval from him. But he's like, "Yeah, it's whatever. You just pick what you want. I don't care."
Yeah. Every once in a while, you run into some guy who's really into aesthetics. But for the most part, the man is happy when his wife is happy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fun. What other like the term that's coming to mind is like personal patterns, or like relational patterns that you see, something that's like a fun anecdote of something that's happened with a customer who's come in.
So I think that my funniest thing is I had a woman come in, and she wasn't coming in for flooring. She was coming in looking for appliance stocks, which is next door, then we start talking because I like plants, and I have a lot of cool plants here, just like, kind of hidden around. I was like, oh, well, let me show you this one. Let me show you this one, and so we're talking, and she was probably in here for like 30, 45 minutes. And she's like, you know what? I didn't come in here wanting flooring, but I think I want new flooring in my kitchen. She's like, I really like you. So she literally picked out flooring for her kitchen, and I went out and measured, and we did her job.
Wow. It just goes to show you that oftentimes people don't want a thing until they see it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of human experience.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to the experience. Like, she was happy, and and she's like, probably had that thought in her head before, but she wasn't looking to do flooring, but she just walked in and it worked out.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind is going when we're thinking about you as a brand, and thinking about Farmhouse Flooring. What you want, you don't know yet, but when you see it, you do.
Yeah.
And what is it that we want them to want? It's not only good looking and long lasting flooring. It is also a connection and an experience with the person who's helping you go through it, and that's something that is really key, I believe, to instill in your brand and how you communicate about yourself. It's friendliness. It is welcoming, and the same amount of welcome that people want their guests to experience when they step into their new home with their new flooring.
Yeah.
That same amount of welcome is what they want when they go to talk to you about achieving that. Welcome. Welcome, I think, is like the major theme.
Yeah, I agree.
What other thoughts do you have on that idea of welcome and friendliness?
I mean, I just want people to feel at home and comfortable, and that's how I try to make them. I just joke around with them and have fun while they're in here.
Yeah. Here's an interesting idea. The idea is you're welcoming home, like you were just saying. You want to make them feel at home. It's like, oh, this is you feel at home here. Part of that is the flooring.
Yeah.
And you can take that with you.
Yeah.
You can take that with you and make your own home feel like that too. So
and I just even feel like the name Farmhouse, like it's just home. You know what I mean? It's like home.
Yeah. I'm thinking about a tagline. And you said earlier something about, I want to be your flooring friend. Would you like to kind of ideate and come up with a couple alternatives?
Yeah.
All right. So the major idea, like I was saying earlier, I feel is welcome. So major themes: welcome, home. What other words come to mind when you think about your brand and what you want people to feel?
I feel like it's just like hometown, just like your hometown flooring store, or it's a small boutique experience. It's not overwhelming. I feel like I have a narrower selection than other stores, so it actually makes it easier to find what you're looking for, because you're not overwhelmed by so many options.
Yeah, there's a phenomenon called decision fatigue, and I think it's brought up all the time in the brand and marketing space. You don't want to give your people that are coming in too many options. There was an experiment that was done, I forget where, but it was like some supermarket, and there was a display with 20 different kinds of jams, and people were like, oh wow, there's so many jams. So there's a wow factor, and they were kind of attracted there. And then they would choose a couple flavors, and then they would go. And then the other side of the experiment was they were given like 3, maybe 4 options, and they tasted each of the 3 or each of the 4, and they bought.
Yeah.
but they bought at much higher rate
Yeah.
with the 3 options than with the 20.
Because they're
And I
just
get-
overwhelmed, you
Yeah.
don't even know what you like because you have so many, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and that relates back as well to not only our the way we set up our packages on our websites or the number of products we have in our store, but it also goes into you are going to help them make a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't on their own trying to make the decision. When
Yeah.
you go to a big box store, they say, hey, here are all the options. Okay, I don't know what I need.
Or
I'm
they
gonna
say,
have to-
yeah, I had another lady and she was just like back and forth. She didn't know what she wanted. She wanted a wood look to match her basement, but she didn't want transition. So she wanted it all the same. So we were looking at vinyl and she's like, no, I don't like the vinyl. And then I'm like, okay, well, we could do like a hardwood, and then we'll just have a transition to your bathroom to something waterproof. She's like, no, I don't want that. So then we kind of narrow it down. I'm like, okay, well, how about laminate? It's waterproof, it's durable, it's very comparable to the same sheen that you have on your hardwood. I said, and we could get something really similar to it. So then she's like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then she goes around to Lowe's and Menards, and she's like, well, the woman at Lowe's told me I can't put it in a bathroom. I'm like, well, the woman at Lowe's isn't educated. It's waterproof 100%. You are okay to put it in your bathroom,
Yes, yeah, and that's I guess the trick as well is big box store, they can't afford to educate the personnel on the floor about all of the products that are there for sale.
Yeah,
that would be impossible.
Yeah.
So
and the old laminate, you couldn't put it because it was not water resistant, but the new laminate,
Right.
you can. So it's just education.
Yeah. And that's why you go to somebody who really knows what they're talking about. That's why you go to a local small, hometown shop.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is like, I don't pressure at all. Like, you won't get any, if you come in and I do an estimate, I'll give a probably one follow-up call, but that's it. I'm not going to hound you. And I'm not, I want it completely like pressure-free and an enjoyable experience because I hate going to a furniture store and being hounded and followed around.
Yeah.
So like when they come in, I'll be like, hey, can I help you? And they're like, oh, I'm just browsing. I'm like, well, let me know if you have any questions, or if they want my help, then I'll help them.
Yeah. It depends on the product or service or whatever it is. But whenever I like, hey, I might have some interest, and it could just be because I visited the website, or I put something in the search engine, or I said something and Google was listening.
Yes, right.
And then I get pop up after pop up, this ad after that ad. Oh, it's to me, it actually turns me off to get so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, you're
the other day
trying too hard.
A friend came over and we looked at like foam matting for boats, and that's all that's popping up on my stuff now.
Yeah. You don't want to hound them. You want them to feel welcome, like they're a real friend, not an asset in your customer relation management system or whatever. And in your CRM, they're not a row in a CRM, they are your neighbor. And that's the big thing. Neighborly. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and like I have all these ideas and I know, but I just can't put it into wording. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you're for.
Yes. I want to say something about welcome home as like a phrase that could be used, like when they land on your site, welcome home, or welcome to your new home, or something like that. Your renewed home.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a double entendre there. Welcome to your new home, meaning this is a place that you can feel at home. Farmhouse Flooring, your actual showroom, but also welcome to your new home. You can think about your home as being new
because
through
you're
your
doing it.
service.
Mhm.
Welcome to your new home. And there's I want to say something about friendly. We want to say something about enjoyable. The experience they have when looking for new flooring for their own place at your place is going to be one of low pressure. Let's see. What else? What else is it? Low pressure, friendly, enjoyable.
So I had to like do a little thing the other day for some marketing, and
Mhm.
it wanted me to like point out some of the assets, and mine was knowledgeable, friendly, on-staff designer, great prices, hometown feel, and top-notch customer service.
Yeah, knowledgeable designer. So a couple phrases that I've been toying around with. Farmhouse Flooring, welcome to your new home. Beautiful, comfortable, affordable, durable. I help you know exactly what you need and want. I want to say something about being a knowledgeable designer.
Yeah.
Friendly, enjoyable, an enjoyable experience with a
Knowledgeable designer
with a knowledgeable designer
at prices you can afford.
at prices you can afford. And something else that I am noticing is that you kind of occupy this middle between the big box stores that don't have any training or don't have any knowledge about the flooring, and the like high end commercial stuff that are going to keep their margins high.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of my like that's where I wanted to be, so I'm happy that I've made it there.
An enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at prices you can
what
afford.
you need and what works. What you need. Well, I don't read it again. Let me hear it.
Yeah. An enjoyable experience discovering what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at prices you can afford.
Yeah. It sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Farmhouse Flooring, welcome to your new home. Beautiful, comfortable, affordable, and durable. An enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at prices you can afford.
It sounds like a commercial.
It does kind of sound like a commercial, and if it's and that might be because I'm smashing too many things together.
Yeah.
And we can.
But it sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to do. It does sound good. How about you say this? Let me drop this in the chat here, and then you can see how it feels to say that yourself.
So, Farmhouse Flooring, welcome to your new home. Beautiful, comfortable, affordable, durable, and an enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at prices you can afford. I think it's great.
How does it feel to say it?
Good. An enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need. I mean, I like the word discovering, like, because you're going to come in and we're going to figure out what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we're calling Farmhouse Flooring that experience. That you experience Farmhouse Flooring. And that's the welcome you're looking for. It's like, welcome to your new home, comfortable. You are welcome here. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know some people don't want to hit on prices, but I do. I want people to know, you know what I mean? that that there is other options out there that have the same prices as the box stores, and you don't have to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just definitely something that you can flesh out in your other marketing materials later, lower in your website. You can say, hey, maybe you can find better pricing. That's okay.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm selling. I'm
Yeah.
selling an experience. Wanting people to come into the store. That's why you don't sell online.
Yeah.
Because that's not you're not selling the product. You're selling
Yeah.
now the product is a delivery mechanism for the real service that you're selling. And the service you're selling is that experience.
Yeah. And I feel like,
product.
let's say they browse everything and they don't see something they like. Well, I have more, you know what I mean? So then in my head, I'm thinking, oh, well, I wouldn't even go in there because I didn't see anything I liked on the website. You know what I mean? Versus if they come in and then we can figure out what they want. And I just think the experience will keep them, you know what I mean, staying there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the real thing you're selling is not the products. The products are a delivery mechanism for the real thing you're selling, which is goodwill and a good experience, and a fun experience. In some ways, dreaming about your new home, dreaming about making your home new, or dreaming about a new place that you're going to make your home.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's very fun.
It is fun. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
When I'm busy. I don't like it when I'm sitting here and nobody comes in for a week. That's a little boring. But then that gives me time to work on marketing and doing other things, you know. But I'd much rather just interact with people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's truly that's my deal as well. Is my favorite days are the ones that I am talking to multiple clients.
Yeah. It just makes me happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might not even sell anything all day, but just to have the interaction and to, you know, work with people, it makes me happier.
Yeah. Great. So what other thoughts come to mind after doing some of this work and thinking about yourself and your brand?
Well, I know I don't, this is more about the website, but I've been thinking a lot about it, and I definitely think I want to rebuild it and rebrand and see what we can do. You know, and I kind of want to push countertops as well, add that in.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have it, but I have been doing it quite a bit, and it kind of ties in with all my stuff. So I want to push that on the website as well.
Yeah, flooring, and so you would have to. Would you say that you rebrand to Farmhouse Flooring and Countertops, or Farmhouse Flooring is still the name, and then you specify flooring and countertops?
I would just specify flooring and countertops, but you know, I would like to build all that into like your search word, you know, the search words and all that. So if people are looking for it, it will pull to my website. Right.
Yeah, flooring. You said something about covers, flooring, countertops, and there was like a third thing that is escaping me right now.
Oh, onyx showers.
Onyx showers. Okay, so the actual wall coverings for the interior of the showers. Yeah. Flooring,
it's
countertops.
a whole, like, onyx. It's a whole system. But it's 100% waterproof for the lifetime. So you don't have to worry about any leaks or, you know, having any issues. It's guaranteed for a lifetime.
So would we say Farmhouse flooring, countertops, and showers?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Normally, we would have a Google Doc open, and we would be kind of editing it together.
Yeah.
So it'll be Farmhouse Flooring. Welcome to your new home. Flooring, countertops, and showers. Beautiful, comfortable, affordable, durable. an enjoyable experience, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah,
So on this, an enjoyable experience, I think it should say knowledgeable, with a knowledgeable designer at affordable prices instead
at
of
affordable.
prices. What do you think?
Sure, yeah, at
I don't know
affordable
which
price.
one sounds better. Prices you can
Affordable prices and prices you can afford. I think they are synonymous phrases, but
Mhm.
affordable prices may roll off the tongue a little better.
Yeah, I feel
So,
like instead of saying oh, you can't afford to shop other
and
places. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, an enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at affordable prices.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, feels good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's actually not that many words.
No.
We are pulling in all the important elements about what you're trying to communicate uh, to that person who needs you, that person who is wanting to improve their own home, but also a neighbor, somebody who's here in the Rolla, St. James, maybe St. Robert area.
Yeah.
And
And then here's another thing that I do that I don't think anybody else done. Like after you purchase, I mean, it doesn't matter if you come in and buy a $5 piece of tile or we do a big project. I send everybody a handwritten thank you card. Like, thank you for supporting my business,
yeah,
and I think they really like that.
yeah, there's a personal touch. There's a
Mhm.
personal touch that's important. That like you're a real person,
Yeah.
and this is something else that I've said with other people is people do business with people.
People.
People
Yes. Yep.
people want to do business with people,
Mm-hmm.
not corporations, not
Yeah.
faceless entities.
Yeah.
Like you could go to Lowe's, and the reason you would go to Lowe's instead of your neighbor's place is because of a huge price difference. Like I can't
Mhm.
afford to. If it was somewhat close, I would totally support my neighbor or
Yeah.
this or
Yeah.
that. So
And so here's the thing that is, how do you encourage people to come in? Like, how do you get them to know you're here? And then how do you encourage them to come in? Because it's so much easier to walk into Lowe's than it is to walk into a specialty store. You know what I mean? Because it's
yeah,
new and you don't know anything about it, or you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
totally different than walking into Lowe's where they have everything and you're not going to be bothered and you can just browse and do what you want.
Yeah, it's partially that. Partially, there's a guilt factor. It's like, oh, I'm taking up their space a little bit, taking
Yeah.
up some of their energy. I feel like I should return the favor in some way, but I can't. I can't buy stuff right now.
Yeah.
And there's a social cost. There's a social cost to visiting. And this is kind of going into the psychology of the marketing itself. There's a threshold, I should say, a threshold where their attraction to it has to overcome the cost of going through with some sort of action. You can say the same thing about stuff online. So the cost of, putting in your email and downloading a free report or assessment or something, the cost to that is now they have my contact.
Mm-hmm.
And if the threshold is low enough, if they have my contact now is lower than I get this from them, then they'll commit to the action, whatever that action is, whether it's putting in the email or actually making a purchase. The threshold of that interaction is low enough, like the $3 that I'm going to spend on this, or the $10 that I'm going to spend on this item online, and I get a digital product or maybe a physical product, like $20 for a book.
Mm-hmm.
The return is greater than the cost. And the same thing goes with visiting somebody in the store. The social cost of walking into a store is, I kind of feel this obligation to the person on the other side of the counter.
Yeah.
They know my face. Maybe I'll see them later, and it's like, oh, they know I didn't purchase anything. It's like,
Yeah.
so you can lower that threshold more by doing something else through the visit. So they get to do something for you by going to the visit, and that solves their social debt, if you will,
Mhm.
of coming into the store
Yeah.
and browsing. Off the top of your head, what might that be?
I don't know. That's a good one. I mean, just conversation, really.
Yeah. So that's something that you can say higher up on the list is welcome to your new home, etc. I'd love to chat about your home, about the weather, or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to help
lower
you
that
design
threshold.
the house that you dream of, something like
Oh
that.
yeah, it could be that high in the affect, or it could be
Mhm.
as low as what you really want is them to feel super comfortable and zero obligation when coming into the store, because
Yeah.
that gives them gives you the opportunity to win their trust. And that's
Yeah.
the whole point of branding, is to win trust. For those of you listening to the audio version of this, we get interrupted by a customer coming in. Yeah, case in point, somebody feels really comfortable and is comes in and just chats and is
Mhm.
friendly, and
Yeah, I mean, that's
like,
how it is with pretty much everybody. We just like chit chat
yeah,
and
I
like, I'm just
almost
your friend. And if you
I
buy from me, it's a plus. But if not, we're good,
yeah. And that's the whole, I think that's the key, I think, to your brand
Yeah.
is your doors on Farmhouse Flooring are as open as your home doors.
Mhm.
And if you want to come in and chat, maybe drink some coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
And when somebody feels that comfortable, they'll
Mhm.
probably it's not going to be immediate,
Yeah.
but whenever somebody's like,
And
"Oh, I
even
want some flooring now,"
if they don't
like,
need it, they're going to tell other people like, "Oh, I went here,
exactly,
like it was a great experience." You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was honestly really fascinating to hear the other customer come in and say, "Oh, I would have totally gone with you
Yeah.
if you were
Yeah.
open at the time." Yeah,
Yeah. And I hear it all the time.
yeah,
So, it's kind of funny.
great. So, what have you found helpful in today's conversation?
I found a lot, really. I just like how I can talk to you and then you just put things into, words, because I can't do it like that. I think it's been really interesting. I've enjoyed it.
Good, good. I've enjoyed it as well. And thank you so much for doing this with me. It's
Yep.
been fun.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a really fun conversation. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'd like to turn our attention back to the website and reveal our new text that we came up with. Welcome to your new home. Flooring, countertops, and showers. Beautiful, comfortable, affordable, durable. An enjoyable experience discovering exactly what you need and want with a knowledgeable designer at affordable prices. This is going to really communicate in succinct terms, the entirety of what she wants the other to know about her and her service, her shop. You come in, you have conversation. It feels like home. And that is the point. That is the feel that she's going for. And that's really what her clientele want in the first place. The other thing I might suggest is to take that call to action button and put it in the header and make this header sticky so that it stays with the user as he or she scrolls. Now that will win us just a little bit of space in the hero section here, a little bit more real estate to fit in some of these other words. Thank you again to Shaina for the really fun conversation and the chance to help her out. If you would like to be interviewed as well for your own brand, please reach out and we'll see what we can do.